Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode. On the show today, we're going to take a look at DD Crew, a pretty bizarre beat-em-up brought to us by Sega in 1991, and exclusively to the arcade no less. In DD Crew, you pick one of 4 starting characters and battle your way through a gang-infested city, not unlike most other games in the genre. What separates DD Crew from the rest is its style and atmosphere, which is done in a very tongue-in-cheek fashion with lots of silly dialogue and wacky character animations. DD Crew works kinda like most other games in its genre, having you move mainly from left to right in an attempt to reach that stage's end boss and progress to the next. Each of the 4 characters does feel totally different, and that's something I can give to DD Crew, since a lot of other beat-em-ups just have multiple characters with essentially the same type of moves, etc. In this one, you really do need to kind of find a character that you vibe with, otherwise it's going to be a rough experience and you're going to die a lot. This game is hard anyway. It's the kind of beat 'em up where you're always outnumbered by at least 2 or 3 enemies at a time, and they take a ton of hits to finally put down. The gameplay has kind of a weird delay to it when you play. You can't just hammer away at a punch button like you can in something like Final Fight. Each hit has a kind of weight to it. After a few initial hits, your enemy will go into kind of a stun state where you can do additional moves like throws and specials. If you go into this one just mashing buttons like crazy, you're going to have a bad time. There are some items you can pick up along the way, like hand grenades, knives, and health items that'll help you fill back up when running low. You'll notice there's a counter at the top of the screen too, kind of like in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that shows you how many bad guys you've taken out thus far. The game's graphics are interesting, to say the least. The characters and enemies are done in sort of a pseudo-realistic style with lots of frames of animation and the like. Tons of detail to check out here, and some of the stages do look pretty cool. The one bad thing about this style is that the increased animation trickles down into the gameplay, making hit detection feel a bit weird at times and out of place. Some of the levels also go on for what seems like way too long, making you just kinda want to hurry up and get through it. This game could definitely be paced a bit better. Sound and music is a love it or hate it thing with DD Crew. The music is all like some sort of experimental late 80s, early 90s hip-hop, and it can be pretty annoying after a while. Luckily, there are some good ones in here too, but not quite on the level of what we've normally come to expect from Sega, that's for sure. The sound effects, for lack of a better description, sound almost slimy, like you're hitting bags of jelly or something. I know that's a pretty weird description, but it's the best I can come up with at the moment. It's sort of hard to explain. DD Crew is a 3-player game, which is great if you can actually find 2 other people that A, have heard of the game, and B, want to actually play it. Oh yeah, and hopefully no one has the same favorite character as you, because then you're out of luck there as well. As I mentioned at the top of the episode, this one was released only in arcades, and it's really not hard to see why. It was brought out at a time when beat-em-ups were still a dime a dozen. While it did try to approach some aspects of the genre with some originality and design choices that were a bit unique, the end product just isn't that much fun to play. It's not bad, it just sort of blends into the background in a sea of other games that did a lot of similar things. DD Crew just doesn't do enough of those things that well and enough to stand out, other than for its weirdness, which still isn't crazy enough to really hold your attention for very long. It's worth maybe a play once or twice, but I'm definitely not losing any sleep over not seeing a home version. As always, guys, I'd like to thank you all for watching, subscribing, and yes, of course, commenting. And until next time, stay classic.